Hi, my name is Dr. Brad Fackrell from Synergy Spine and Nerve Center, and today I want to talk to you about how you can get better bang for your buck under your chiropractic care. If you've already been a patient in our office, you already understand the difference between sympathetic versus parasympathetic dominance. You understand the triune of care. If you have not watched the spinal hygiene video, I'd encourage you to stop this video right now, go hit the link in the description below and go watch that video first. But let's get to today's topic of how you can get more bang for your buck in your chiropractic care. Getting more bang for your buck has everything to do with understanding the difference between sympathetic dominance versus parasympathetic dominance. Now let me explain what those two things are. Parasympathetic dominance is when your brain is perceiving calm situations and you're in a state of health and healing. Sympathetic dominance is when your brain is perceiving a state of stress and it's getting ready to run from a tiger or fight that tiger. Now, evolutionarily speaking, this is a really healthy thing to be in short term. When that tiger's chasing you, you ought to be able to come out on the other end alive. However, in our culture, we are living in chronic stress, and that is really terrible for our health. How is it terrible for our health? Well, when we're in sympathetic dominance, that is going to happen as a result of some sort of stressor, chemical stressor, an emotional stressor, or a physical stressor. An example of a physical stressor is I'm skiing, I might fall. I might have some injury that my body has to overcome. I might have subluxation where the joints just aren't lined up properly or they're not moving properly. That is perceived in your cerebellum as a stress and you go into sympathetic dominance. Then you might have emotional stressors, things like a relationship challenge or things are not going very well at work or whatever. Those are emotional stressors that usually will then make you a person want to add insult to injury by having some more chemical stress. We do that by drinking soda, maybe smoking some weed or smoking tobacco, drinking some alcohol, or taking any kind of pills for whatever situation we need. All those are chemical stressors. We add the chemical stress together, the physical stress and the emotional stress, and that is a big one for our cerebellum. And we go into sympathetic dominance and we stay there. And that is one of the causes of many of the inflammatory health conditions that our culture suffers from. Heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and so many others. So today I want to talk to you specifically about the part of the triune of care of number 3 of exercise and how that will help you go into parasympathetic dominance. So when you exercise, you are stimulating more of that proprioception because your body is moving, the joints are moving, the muscles are working, and that is stimulating more cerebellar health because you're going into parasympathetic dominance. You're helping to fight off the sympathetic dominance, which later, after you're finished with the exercise, will allow you to come down and have more serotonin production, which serotonin is going to produce melatonin, help you sleep better, and everything is good in your body is going to happen when you exercise. The key to exercise is you need to exercise at least 30 minutes every day of doing something, and it should be something different. Today, I'm skiing in the backdrop of beautiful Taos, New Mexico. It's great exercise. It's cardio, it's strength, it's endurance. There's a lot of good there. But your exercise should also include some mobility work, some yoga, some stretching, and it definitely should include some strength training, core exercises that are going to help your joints be strong. And it should be varied. So whatever exercise you like to do it and do it every day. Do something every day because that will help you go from sympathetic dominance into parasympathetic dominance. And that will help you improve your health. Now, if you want to stick around for just a minute, you can see some footage of today's ski trip in Taos, New Mexico with my son, Steven. We are having a great time. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Well, I appreciate you sticking around to watch the end of this video, this early ski day in December in Taos. But I wanted to touch a little bit more on sympathetic versus parasympathetic dominance. A couple of things that are important to remember. First of all, the proprioception that is stimulated from joint motion is one of the major factors that will stimulate a parasympathetic dominant life. So there are 3 factors to consider with that proprioception. The first is, are the joints going through fast range of motion versus slow range of motion. Faster range of motion stimulates more proprioception. The other thing is contraction, meaning are you making the joints go through range of motion under your own power, or does it happen passively? The third is full range of motion. If the joints are not going through full range of motion, then that is not allowing that full proprioceptive response to happen. So as you can see, and sometimes when we fall, then that will cause some swelling to occur in some of those joints. And when they're swelling the joints, that's going to restrict the motion, restrict the proprioception. Also, it will lead to early arthritis and degeneration. So I encourage you, as you get your exercise, to encourage full range of motion. And that's also why it's important, because sometimes things happen. You need to be under regular chiropractic care and take care of yourself. Hope you have a great day.